Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Donald Trump and Joe Biden each claim to be ahead in the US presidential election, even as the final outcome hangs on a razor's edge and both sides gear up for legal action.
This is among one of the most anti-democratic things I've ever seen or encountered. And not a single Republican has been able to look at any one of these mail ballots. They could be from Mars, as far as we're concerned, or they could be from the Democratic National Committee. Joe Biden could have voted 50 times.
Overall turnout in Tuesday's election was projected to be the highest in 120 years at 66.9%. That's according to the US Election Project. Mr. Biden had the support of 70.5 million voters, the most won by any presidential candidate ever. Mr. Trump has pulled in 67.2 million votes, 4 million more than he gained in 2016. In Detroit, in Michigan, police were called on Wednesday afternoon to guard the doors of a vote-counting facility as some protesters outside demanded access to monitor the process. While in several cities across the US, people protested and clashed with the police, asking to have all the votes counted. Many European countries, including the UK, have entered a second lockdown period to stop the spread of the second wave of COVID-19. Countries including the UK, Norway, Greece and Italy entered new lockdowns, closing non-essential businesses and introducing varying degrees of travel restrictions. In the UK, the lockdown will be enforced only in England for the next 4 weeks, while Italy went for a regional approach, enforcing strict limitations on specific regions. Meanwhile, Greece and Norway opted for nationwide curfews, which will last for several weeks. Kosovo President Hashim Thaki has resigned from office, announcing that a special court at The Hague was indicting him for war crimes. Mr. Thaki told a news conference in the Kosovo capital, Pristina, that his sources had informed him the judge at the Kosovo Specialist Chamber in The Hague has confirmed his indictment. He said he would not permit a situation in which a president of Kosovo appeared before the court. Prosecutors hold Mr. Thaki responsible for nearly 100 murders of civilians during the war, while he was senior commander of the Kosovo Liberation Army guerrilla group during the uprising against Serbian rule in 1998 and 1999. He denies any wrongdoing. Denmark will cull its mink population of up to 17 million after a mutation of the coronavirus found in the animals spread to humans. Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen explained that health authorities found virus strains in humans and in mink which showed decreased sensitivity against antibodies, potentially lowering the efficacy of future vaccines. Authorities in Denmark said 5 cases of the new virus strain had been recorded on mink farms and 12 cases in humans, and that there were between 15 million and 17 million mink in the country. Outbreaks at mink farms have persisted in the Nordic country, the world's largest producer of mink furs, despite repeated efforts to cull infected animals since June. India's capital, New Delhi, the capital city with the worst air quality worldwide, has suffered its most toxic day in a year. With smog cloaking the city, it recorded a concentration of poisonous PM 2.5 particles at 14 times over the World Health Organization's safe limit. The air pollution has heightened health fears among residents, with doctors warning of a sharp increase in respiratory illnesses. If the air quality stays in the severe zone for 48 hours, authorities could bar vehicles entering Delhi, shut down construction and stop half the cars owned by residents from being driven on the roads. Heavy fighting has broken out in Ethiopia's Tigray region amid rising fears of a crisis that could destabilize the country and spread across the Horn of Africa. Military operations began on Wednesday after Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed accused the region's ruling party, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, of attacking federal troops. The TPLF said it would win, saying arrogance, invasion and traitorous acts in our country are not our nature. Mr. Abiy's office has rejected as false a claim by the local government that the Northern Command of the Federal Army stationed in the region has defected to its side. And finally, a baby panda born to a pair of adult pandas loaned to South Korea from China has celebrated her 100th day with a mini celebration. The cub is the first panda born in South Korea. The Everland amusement park held a belated celebration to commemorate the rare occasion for the endangered species. She turned 100 days old on October 28th, with the zoo naming her Fu Bao, meaning lucky treasure baby, after a poll by some 50,000 people. The baby panda weighed 197 grams at birth, but has since grown to 5.8 kilograms. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.